There seems to be a lot of different ideas floating around in our Western culture today, and none are possibly more dangerous than who the world thinks Satan is. I remember just a few short years ago a TV show coming on in which they portray Satan, or Lucifer, as he's known in the show, as a nightclub owner in LA. At the time, I was really just starting my faith journey, and I remember thinking this seems a little dangerous. Fast forward a few more years, and now we have famous singers dressing up as Satan, other celebrities selling shoes with human blood in them, and jokes in which Satan is the punchline. It's enough to make our heads spin. My friend recently summed up the world's view on Facebook really well. Satan is not what a godless culture makes him out to be. Satan is not the misunderstood antihero who is here to save the day. He's not a hip, cutting-edge revolutionary bringing liberation and freedom for the oppressed. Satan wants us to view him in this way. The world has bought into this lie. I can almost see the devil in my mind's eye laughing with delight that so many would see him, not for what he truly is, but as the anti-hero, the unexpected champion for the underdog. Or maybe your view of Satan is a little bit different, but just as dangerous. He's simply a minor inconvenience in life. He's the small guy on your shoulder, whispering advice in your ear that you know is wrong. You're picturing a little red guy with horns and a pitchfork, aren't you? While the angel whispers the good advice on your other shoulder. This is a poor, oversimplified, satiated, and even unbiblical depiction of who Satan really is. Who or what is Satan? Not to get too complicated with things, but Satan is not a name at all, but actually a title or a description, the Satan. A good example is the title given to Peter in Matthew chapter 16, verse 23. But he turned and said to Peter, "Get behind me, Satan. You are a hindrance to me, for you are not setting your mind on the things of God, but on the things of man." Jesus wasn't confused on who he was talking to. Lord, it's me, Peter. No, Jesus was calling Peter an accuser, an opponent, which is what the Greek word satanas means. The word for devil means slanderer. Although the title Satan is attributed to many different people in the Bible, there's also one being consistently being called the tempter, the deceiver, the devil, the Satan. His most famous appearance is his first one in Scripture. He appeared to Eve in the garden as a serpent in Genesis 3. There are lots of questions we have about Satan's origins, but we will address that in another video. The tempter is described in Revelation as the ancient serpent, who is the devil and Satan, and the deceiver of the whole world. Is Satan the anti-hero society seems to so desperately want? Is he going to save us from oppression? Or maybe he doesn't play that big of a role. He's simply the character who represents our bad side. Be sober-minded, be watchful. Your adversary, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, seeking someone to devour. 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 8 tells us. This doesn't sound like a cute cartoon character that TV taught me about when I was just a kid. The devil is lurking. He wants to devour you and me. He wants to utterly swallow you up. Therefore, as Peter commanded, be alert. Pay attention to Satan. He is not something we can simply shrug off or ignore. He is our enemy. He is like a roaring lion, and I don't know about you, but a roaring lion is something that I would approach with great caution. Jesus said to one audience, "You are of your father, the devil, and your will is to do the Father's desires." He was a murderer from the beginning and does not stand in truth because there is no truth in him. When he lies, he speaks out of his own character, for he is a liar and the father of lies. Satan is a murderer. In fact, all death points back to him. Romans 6:23 says, "The wages of sin is death." He wants you dead. A murderer doesn't seem quite as appealing as the anti-hero, the mask that the world wants to put on him. Satan loves that mask. You see, one of his greatest lies to us is that he's not out to destroy, but he's actually here to help us. to free us from a God who loves you so much. He'll twist God's words just like he did with Eve in the garden. He'll try to convince you that he's the hero. He's rescuing you from oppression. And that great dragon was thrown down, that ancient serpent who was called the devil and Satan, the deceiver of the whole world. He was thrown down to the earth, and his angels were thrown down with him. Revelation 12:9. World-famous artists pretending to be the devil, shoes for sale including human blood, Satan worship as the punchline to a joke, and the devil as the hero entertaining millions on a TV show. What do you think? Has Satan done a pretty good job deceiving the world? They're in the jaws of the lion, and they don't even know it. Jesus said, "The thief comes only to steal, to kill, and destroy. I came that you may have life and have it abundantly. I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep." Satan is that thief. He doesn't come to save. On the contrary, he comes to steal. He comes to kill and destroy. Yet Jesus is our good shepherd. He is our protector from the lion, our stronghold in the storm, and the standard for righteousness in temptation. He is the one who laid down his life to destroy the plans and the works of the devil. That's the hero that the world needs.